So this is like a continuation of living in LA part 3, when I left off and said we moved back to Minnesota, and this is where I met my husband. So we moved back to Minnesota and we go to People Serving People, which is another shelter in downtown Minneapolis. Better shelter than the LA shelters, okay? But at this point, I'm a little paranoid. I'm a little paranoid about shelters after the man hit me in the head with a chair. That like ramped my paranoia up. Even for the rest of my life, I'm still a little paranoid. I still don't trust people. I'm still just kind of like, what you gonna do? He really scarred me there. So my mama like, okay, in the morning, y'all already know the dealio. We about to start looking for apartments. And in Minnesota, it was fairly easier to find apartments. I don't know what it's like now, but my mama can like find her a good old apartment in Minnesota. So we downtown Minneapolis, we everywhere. We're in St. Paul, we're in Minneapolis, everywhere. My mama don't play around. There is no boundary to where she would go to make sure we had an apartment. And so we looked for apartments the first day, the second day, third day, the fourth day. Somebody that I knew from Rochester, where I used to live, was in Minneapolis. And they said, we didn't know you was back. Come to Rochester for a couple of days. And me, at this point, I'm still 16, about to be 17. At this point, I'm not even thinking, no, hell yeah. Like, and then I had my ex-boyfriend who was absolutely no good for me. He was there. So I'm like, oh, I missed him. And, this was like where my bad healing started. Like, this is where I started drinking and partying and having an ID that said I was 25, giving me the openness to do absolutely anything I wanted at any time. So I'm like, hell yeah, not even thinking about my mom and them, right? So I'm like, okay, like, come back tomorrow. I'm gonna have my bag and stuff and I'll go back. So I go back to Rochester. Now, at this point, my mama is infuriated with me. Is it infuriated? Infuriated, I guess, with me. Really, really mad. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And she like, she see me leaving. She said, where you going? I said, oh, I'm gonna go back to Rochester for a couple of days. She said, and we here looking for apartments, Michelle? I said, yeah. Oh Lord. And so I go to Rochester. I mean, nothing good came of the trip. Nothing good. I come back to the Twin Cities and downtown Minneapolis to the shelter, and then my mom was like, we moving in our new apartment tomorrow. Damn, I only been gone like 2-3 days, and okay. So now she pissed. I get back. She's like, we did a lot of work to get this place, like a lot of ripping and running, and you're just somewhere getting in trouble. While we doing all the footwork, whatever. So she was pissy with me from the very beginning, even before we moved in our apartment. So we moved in our apartment on the east side of St. Paul, and it was chill. Me and my mama always got into it though, ever since I was a young girl, for one reason or another. Okay, and so she used to put me out. She'd be like, you could get out. And as an adult, I can say that I was a little mouthy, I was a little disrespectful, but also I was hurting. And I didn't feel like I had anybody I could talk to or anybody that cared about me. So a lot of that just came out in the form of like disrespect, talking back, being rebellious, coming in when I want to, because it's just like I really just didn't care. I didn't have much care in me. So she enrolled me in school after everything. I'm moving ahead of myself. When we move in to our apartment, she enrolled me in school. And I went to Humboldt in West St. Paul, I guess. I forget, whatever, on the west side of St. Paul. That's where Humboldt was, and I went there. And so I'm going to school, and then that's when I should have said, but then me and my mama, we started getting into it, and she like putting me out, like, you could go, or she'll like just tell me to get up for a few hours, and then like we'll argue, and then I'll come back, and then wake up in the morning like nothing ever even happened. So while I'm at school, I used to be drinking at school. I used to be drinking UV Blue in a blue Gatorade bottle. And I had this I used to be in ROTC, and the drill sergeant, or whatever their name is, he was so kind to me. He was so nice because he knew I was drunk. I would be drinking in the school. And when you drink, I mean, eventually you get so tired. But also I used to be drinking at home, like being outside. Like Grey Goose, I used to love Grey Goose. So I used to drink it all the time. So I was always drunk. At this point, I'm 17. Always drunk. And so he used to have so much grace with me. Like, he used to ask me to perform them damn drills, and this me, look, that's all I got. And it was nothing. And he would just chuckle. He was like, "It's all right, Michelle. At least you got your uniform on. It's iron. You got your socks on. You got your shoes on. That's all we can ask for. Like, okay, you good." And he used to pass me every semester. Shout out to him. And so, in high school at Humboldt, it was this girl. She would always say, "Come to Young Life. Come to Young Life with me. Come to Young Life with me." And I'm like, "Girl, I ain't going no damn Young Life. Leave me alone." So Young Life is like a group for young kids that believe in God and like want to grow their walk with Christ, but to be around like other kids that also believe in God. And so one day I finally decided to go to Young Life. Young Life was kind of fun. It was at a YMCA, in the gym part of the YMCA, and it was like a bunch of kids, like everybody, like they playing gospel music, and it's like I was born and raised in church, so I knew it, but I'm just like, this isn't really what I want. Like, I was actually a little mad at God, to be completely honest, because you knew that my grandma is literally all I had. I felt like she's all I had, and then you took her, and you kind of left me, and then you keep making me feel like you're leaving me, you know? Ooh, getting emotional there. And so I was like, I actually don't have much to say to God, because it's like he don't have much to say to me. Whole time, this man done saved my lifetime. He didn't save me time and time again while I'm sitting here mad. But anyway, so I'm at Young Life and I meet this man named Quest Mazik. And he was like over the Young Life in that area. And he's like, "Hey, dude, what's your name? Like, I never seen you before." I'm like, "I'm Michelle." He was like, "Tell me a little bit about yourself." And so I start telling them, and naturally, organically, I start like getting into my testimony even before age 17. And he's like, "Whoa, like, dude, you got something. Like, be around more. Like, come around more. I think this program, like being in this program, will help you a lot." And he was like, "I want to introduce you to somebody. Her name is Shalonda." And which Quest became my goddad, and Shalonda became my godmom. He was like, "I think you need to be around Shalonda, because Shalonda will help you, like, as a woman." He was like, "I'm a man, so it's certain things I don't understand about, and she can help you in that way, and then I can support her in helping you." And I was like, wow. Well, I'm sitting here mad at God. God is sending me to a place to get the healing, to get the help, to get what I need. And I'm just like, I'm mad. And so I started going to Young Life every week, or whenever the weeks that they had it. And I'm eager to go. And so eventually Quest was like, "You should come to my church." And he went to Living Word in St. Paul. And so I'm like, sure, I'll go to your church. And it was a chill church. And that's where my husband resided. He was the drummer at the church. And so I was all into like drug dealers, gangbangers, like men in the streets, okay? And so he was a drummer at church, and it's like, I didn't even see him. Like, that's how much attention I wasn't paying to my mans. And so I'm steady coming into church or whatever. And so, I mean, it'll be other guys at the church just like, "Hey, what's up?" I talked to like one guy from the church, and I'm like, yeah, no. And so eventually I'm in the parking lot, and my husband comes up, and well, he wasn't my husband back then, but he come up, and while I'm standing next to my goddad's car, he say, "Why you didn't add me on Facebook?" "Sir, who are you?" And I was mean, y'all. Ooh, I was real mean as a junkyard dog, okay? And I'm like, "Who are you?" And he like, just trying to keep it light. And me biting his head off. I was like, "I don't know you to add you up on Facebook." And he was like, "My name's Demetrius." And I'm like, "All right, well, if I find you in my friend request," I'm like, "Do you think you're the only person that's, I don't know you?" And he like, I mean, he's a cool guy, still cool to today, okay? Cucumber cool. And he like, I was like, "I'll look to see." And so I go back over to my dad and my godmom and the other girls that go to the church, and I'm like, "Why that boy over there talking about why to add him on Facebook?" Everybody like, "D? You talking about D? That's D. That's D." Baby, I don't give a damn if that was ABC, EFG, HIJK, LMNOP. I don't know him. They're like, "No, D good people, get D good people. You should add him. You should add." I don't know. No. Okay, I'm making part two.